Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about a picture. The man in this picture is Jesus. Jesus, also referred to as Jesus of Nazareth, and Jesus Christ was born 64th century BC in Bethlehem and died 30 AD century in Jerusalem. He was the first century Jewish preacher and religious leader. He's also the central figure of Christianity. Most Christians believe he is the incarnation of God, the Son, and the awaited Messiah, prophesied in the Old Testament. Now, let's go back to the picture. As you can see, the Jesus in the picture has a raised nose, thick double eyelid, a sleek chin, a glossy hair, and a white skin. Let's just face it, he looks really handsome. He just looks like European American. Now, I'll show you more pictures and tell you why Jesus looks so different in each country. If you look at the paintings that can be called Jesus in different countries, you can see them all in very different ways. To be more specific, it looks similar with the ancestors of each country. The East Asian has long flat eyes and dark hair. The Middle East has a thick face line, cubic face, dark and deep eyebrows and hair. And lastly, in Western, it's relatively light hair, although there is often dark hair, and three-dimensional faces are the main features, and as I said, the facial features of their ancestors. This country-centered interprets has affected the face and the clothing of the god to some extent as religion enters its own country, and there is something in common between the gods and Jesus in certain areas compared to other gods believed in each country. Culture and beauty standards, each country's characteristic features to some extent, the East, the West, and the Middle East classified into three grades when Jesus was similar.
Next, let's talk about how Jesus really looked like. There are several reasons for estimating the true appearance of Jesus. Jesus did not sin, but sin in the Bible is to keep God's word, the rule of the road. Based on the rule, we can predict the actual appearance of Jesus. First, Jesus grew a beard. According to sections 19:27 of Leviticus, don't cut your hair in a wrong shape or damage your beard. By this word, the Jews would have grown their beards to this day, and Jesus at that time would have grown their beards too. Secondly, Jesus would have had his hair cut short. According to Exodus 44:22 and Corinthians 11:14, I will not shave my hair or grow my hair long. I will only shave my hair, and if a man has long hair, his nature will teach you to be ashamed of yourself. In the Old Testament, the priests were not allowed to shave or grow their heads. Therefore, he would not grow like a long hair or shave his head at all, and he would have cut his hair short like ordinary men. Thirdly, Jesus would have been rather thin. Man was originally made to eat, but after Noah's flood he allowed man to eat meat. According to Minsuge sections 1133, the meat is in between, and before it is chewed, the Lord has given the people a great deal of anger. The great people were a beggar, it was a beggar. Finally, Jesus would be ugly. If you look at Isaiah chapter 53:2 and 2, it says, "He's like a root that is tender and dry to grow before the rod." So, he has no fine shape or presence. So there is no beauty to admire. Therefore, it would not have been what we commonly think of as a handsome man in Europe or America. Then, shall we move on to the last part?
Then why do we mostly think of Jesus as a European white male? That may be because Christianity has developed in the West for a long time. The Bible has intensively studied in the West. Christianity has gradually become westernized, and describing Jesus as a wholly European white man was familiar to Westerners. We have seen many paintings of European Jesus, so we have taken it for granted that the figure is a real Jesus. Somebody may think that the race of Jesus is not important. They said, what's important is not whether he was white, but that he was born as a human and died upon the cross. But I think if there is something wrong, we need to know the truth. Especially if you are a Christian, you must not misperform Jesus. That's right. If you know him and wondered what he looked like, we think this video would be interesting to you. Thanks for watching.